Hey everyone, Scott Solari with Real Sync, and welcome back to Real Tech Talk. Today, I'm super excited because I have a special guest, Brian Charlesworth. God, that is British, isn't it?
That is British. I'm actually Brian Charlesworth III, so get
Stop
it right.
Stop. I was going to joke with you.
Yeah, I'm just joking, but...
No, yeah, right. I think that's from a Family Guy episode. But yeah, so Brian is the CEO, co-founder of SISU, which if you haven't heard of SISU, I think you've been living under a rock because it's probably one of the best, tech platforms, softwares that you can have within your business. So Brian, thanks so much for being on. I really appreciate it, man.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I'm going to start right off. We're going to get into it. Tell our listeners, if they haven't heard of SISU, how does SISU allow a real estate business to improve?
Okay, so SISU is really a business that was set up for you to be able to do everything you need to do in your business, with the exception of, on this side, you have your CRM, right? There are a lot of great CRMs in the industry. We don't want to be a CRM. There's also these compliance softwares and e-signature platforms. We don't want to do that. But everything you need to run a real estate business between that, we do. So think of us as the Salesforce for real estate. And I can say the Salesforce for real estate because Salesforce is too complex for real estate teams and agents for the most part. There are a few that have it, right? But it's really too complex for most real estate teams and brokerages to run. So everything you need to do to run your real estate business. So what does that mean? It starts with setting goals, holding your agents accountable to those goals, being able to visualize all of that data like you hear about in the 4 disciplines of execution, having that cadence of accountability, being able to do sales challenges, being able to have custom forms so you're not having to do stuff in Google Sheets anymore, and a lot more. But just this week, we're actually rolling out something that I'm super excited about, which is our new task management platform, which we'll probably talk more about. But anyway, pretty much everything you need to do to run your real estate business.
So you're getting all of this information, data, everything's coming into your platform, into SISU. Talk about how the visibility of that information allows businesses to continue to improve or even do business differently.
Yeah, so I mean, getting information into the platform, right? How do you make decisions if you don't have something to look at to make those decisions? So speaking of that, and obviously we work with you guys on this, Scott, but first thing is, let's bring all your CRM data into our platform. Let's make all of your platforms communicate and talk to each other. And so anything that's in your CRM, anything that's on the other end, anything that's in your dialer, let's get it into SISU so that you can make those decisions where you can actually view things. And a great example of this, I've actually seen this happen in the last month, where somebody's cost per lead, cost per closing for a certain lead source was $3,800 per closing.
Wow.
So if you know that exact number, that your cost per closing is $3,800, for that lead source, you can make a decision at that point. Most business owners would make a decision, I don't think I'm going to keep this lead source, right? I'm going to get away. I'm going to be done with it. But because of SISU, this business owner was able to say, you know what? I'm going to go to my team and I'm going to let them know my cost per closing is $3,800. Do you guys still want these leads? Because if you do, the new split on these is 30% that you get instead of 50%. And by the way, even though my cost per closing as a team is $3,800, my cost per closing for these few agents is less than $1,000. So if my cost per agent per closing on those 3 agents is less than $1,000, who do you think I'm going to give those leads to as a business owner? So that's just a great example of how you can make decisions, smart decisions, because you know your data.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And that's what I love about SISU. So I appreciate you giving that example, because how do you make a decision without the visibility? And that's part of what you guys do, is give that visibility. So one more question. I appreciate your time very much. I know there's so much to your system. But if someone's watching that hasn't heard of SISU before, like give them I'd say overview, but give them a quick snapshot of some of the things that they're going to be that right away they're able to see differently in their business, and then how do they get in touch with you?
Okay. So, I mean, think about it this way, right? There's so much going on in your business, and people think of us, I think if people just, you get a hold of us at sisu.co, by the way, sisu.co. And when people go there, I think they think of us as this visualization tool, which we are, right? This way to hold people accountable tool, which we are. But we're also an automation. We call ourselves growth automation software. So what I mean by that is automate your processes so that your workflows are better, not only for your sales manager or you as a business owner holding your agents accountable, but also for that workflow from contract to close. What are you doing to be efficient in that contract to close? I've seen teams go from 3 transaction coordinators to 1 transaction coordinator because they have SISU. So it's all about automating your workflows, being able to share with the touch of a button something out to all of your vendors, being able to manage all of your tasks and automate those tasks. So it's just really, again, like you said, Scott, there's so much to talk about. We could talk an hour about this, but just at a high level, that's really our focus, is just making you more efficient and effective, and not only you as a business owner and your back-end systems, but also all of your agents. And some of you and I were just talking about this, but some of our teams have had some of their best months ever over these last 2 months, because what we allow you to do as a leader is hold your people accountable remotely, right? If you're in a Zoom meeting, what are you talking about? You should be training all your people right now, every day, every morning, so that they are up and at it, and so that they're becoming knowledgeable on what they need to do in this new marketplace. But you should also be holding them accountable and having them report their numbers out and understanding those numbers and having them have visual access into that as well. So just having that ability to, in this new marketplace, hold your people accountable remotely through a Zoom meeting and visually, all of their dashboards displayed, looking at them one-on-one. I mean, it's a game changer.
I love it. I love it. Brian, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being our partner. And if you haven't heard of SISU, go check them out, sisu.co. It's amazing, amazing platform. And I can attest to it. It really will be a game changer for your business, the way you spend your money, the people that you hire, the people that you keep, because you're going to have all of that information right there in front of you that's easy to view and easy to understand. So sisu.co. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it, man. You're the man.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott.